The first time I started manifesting consciously, I was facing many challenges in my life. It felt as if I was not worthy and deserving. At that time, the circumstances made me frustrated. I was extremely tired of my circumstance, and I remember seeking answers to my questions through YouTube videos. But at that time, there were no videos that gave me a clear answer to my questions. I only got some vague answers from here and there. Some people said to let go, while others told me to persist. It was so confusing for me. I didn't understand, as both answers were opposite each other. I know you too have faced such scenarios where circumstances are frustrating you. You don't know what you have to do. But you don't have to worry anymore, as by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what you have to do in order to make your circumstances disappear. I know these circumstances have made you frustrated for a long time, but not anymore. Now, when I got too frustrated with the circumstances, I made a decision, and that was to read Neville Goddard's book. After reading it, everything started to make sense, and I started following Neville Goddard principles for manifesting my desired outcome. I even recognized the difference between letting go and persisting. Everything became clear, and I manifested a desirable outcome in my life where I managed to hug a specific person. Back then, I had this specific person, and there was a stubbornness in me to manifest a relationship. Since the beginning, it has been clear that I don't want any long-term commitments. Long story short, I did my imaginal act, where I hugged my specific person at a specific place in my imagination. I did it multiple times. I did it for many days. I chose a specific spot that was mostly empty and was rarely visited by anyone. At that time, I used to do my imaginary act while lying on the bed. Also, when I used to pass by this specific spot, I used to stand at this spot, close my eyes, and imagine hugging that specific person. After a few days, out of nowhere, when I least expected it, it became my reality, and I hugged my specific person at that very spot. That day, my life changed, and my manifestation journey began. I got goosebumps after that moment. I shared this story with you because there was a time when a specific person I wanted didn't want me back and told me that they didn't love me anymore. But, out of nowhere, they came and hugged me. Even so, they asked me if I loved them or not. As you can see, the circumstances were the opposite. You can say that they were against me, as the person I wanted didn't want me back. But it didn't matter. The circumstances disappear only because I did one thing that I learned from Neville Goddard's book, and that is to bury the dead. Bury the dead. You might wonder, what do I mean by this? How is this related to my circumstances? Well, it has everything to do with your circumstances, and in a few moments, you will know how. Firstly, burying the dead simply means burying the past or letting go of the past. The past is one such thing that you have to let go of. If you keep on playing past memories in your mind, then you will keep on manifesting similar circumstances in your life. This is what you have to let go of. Letting go does not mean letting go of your relationships or your wealth. Letting go simply means to let go of past ideas of failure and hurt. This is where the majority of people fail. They never let go of the hurtful past. They don't forgive themselves or other individuals. They don't let go of their failures. They hold them so tight that it makes them suffer. Letting go is about creating a space for something new. The new thing will happen when you let go of the old ones. Even in my story, when the circumstances were opposite to what I wanted, I started letting go of the failures and the past hurts, and it didn't matter to me if I got that specific person back or not. I was at a point where it didn't hurt me anymore, and I reached that point by imagining the scenario that would be true once I got my desire. For me, imagining a hug from the specific person indicated that achievement. As I imagined that scenario multiple times, I persisted in the new state of being. This is what persistence means. I remained faithful to the new idea of being with them instead of thinking whether I would have them or not. Also, I didn't spend my days thinking about the past, as it was a waste of time. Neville clearly mentions, do not waste one moment in regret, for to think feelingly of the mistakes of the past is to reinfect yourself. If you too are living in the past and reinfecting yourself with the previous states of being, then stop it right now. There is no benefit in doing it. As you do it more often, the more you persist in the old state and the similar conditions you experience in your life. Now, what is the solution? Well, it is simple, and it can be applied right after finishing this video. The solution is summed up in this one statement. Turn from appearance and assume the feeling that would be yours were you already the one you wish to be. This is the reality of manifestation. This is the way you manifest desirable outcomes. In my story, I turned away from the appearance of being unwanted and assumed a different feeling internally. I assumed internally that what I wanted had now become my reality. It didn't matter to me if my external circumstances were showing something different. Internally, I was living in a new world. I was living a new life. I was having new experiences, and this is how I achieved my desirable outcomes. I didn't stop at only imagining the desired outcome. I know that when you imagine your circumstances, it takes you to your state of having the wish fulfilled, but throughout the days you get some negative thoughts that say, will it happen or not? When will it happen? How will it happen? Why is nothing changing? They said they don't want to talk to me. They will not return. They are not interested in me. And this list goes on. I know you too have such thoughts. This is the most crucial time where you have to think the opposite of your negative thoughts. Believe me, once you think against your negative thoughts, you will start to win the battle and manifest your desired outcome. It is like nurturing a little plant that you planted in your garden. When you think in favor of your desired reality, you are protecting that plant from pests and heavy winds. When you do the imaginal act and think from the state of having your desire, nothing can stop you from having what you want. Your circumstances that were troubling you will disappear very quickly. This is the way that I found it very helpful. When I do it, I release the past, I forgive myself for manifesting the unfavorable scenarios, and I move on with my new desired reality. When I hear people say that they aren't getting their manifestation, then I know where they are lacking, and that is that they are not ready to let go of the past. When I ask them, why do they think that their specific person will not be interested in them? They have a huge list where they mention what their specific person did or what they did, where they lack, and how inferior they are. But when I ask them to list out only 10 reasons that they think are in them that would make a specific person interested in them, the majority of them go blank and only mention 1 to 2 reasons. If your list of reasons why you can't have them is longer than the list of possibilities for having them, then only you lose. I want you to write those 10 reasons in the comments section. Out of you all, there will be many people who will have to think longer to write those 10 sentences. But by doing this, you will know why the circumstances are not in your favor. This is what needs to be done. Thinking from the end is simply thinking from a place where you have achieved exactly what you want. Like in the story I shared, thinking from the end would sound something like, my SP hugged me, and that shows that she is in love with me. Her body language tells me that she is highly attracted to me. She loves spending time with me. She wants to meet me every day. Now, this is what thinking from the end state of having your desire looks like. The imaginal act of hugging was the end state of having your desire, and you have to think from this imaginal state. But on the other hand, if the thoughts in your mind sound like this, she said she doesn't want to meet me. She is not interested in me anymore. She only wants to be friends with me. She doesn't want to talk to me. She avoids me. What if she is dating someone else? If such thoughts are dominantly present in your mind, then you are not doing it correctly. These thoughts will appear because you are in a certain state. You have to change this state, and you will do this by changing your thoughts. Don't complain to anyone that manifestation is not working for you if your mind is dominantly filled with the idea of not having your desire. If you are not even ready to change your thoughts, then circumstances will remain the same, and you will complain about them forever. But if you are someone who wants to have different experiences in your life, then changing your thoughts about yourself is the first baby step you take towards achieving your desire. Also, if it feels hard for you to imagine a scene, then my next video is for you. Many people got results from it. You can check it out by clicking on the first video that appears at the end of the screen.